Hey guys, Duke DeLate here for another long-ass episode of Pickup Daily. I did a survey at SurveyMonkey a while back, and I asked if people would watch 20 to 30 minute long videos talking sort of in depth about a subject and having me ramble every once in a while. And I had almost 100%. They wanted me to do longer videos. So here it is. I got good results from the ones I did for The Attractive Man. Check out the stuff I did on breakups and stuff in the link over there. And today I wanted to talk to you today. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. I was talking about just the intense amount of fucking work it takes to get good at game or get good at talking to people, talking to women, getting social, and how we should, enjoy the process. Life's a journey, not a destination, that whole concept. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today and on this episode of Pickup Daily. Yes, so I'm talking about life's a journey, not a destination. So you hear this saying all the time. You see it in the Instagram, the Pinterest cubes, and the basic idea of this thing is that we go through life and we are trying to achieve certain results, right? But if we look only at the results, we're going to miss a lot of things along the way as we begin to learn and grow and become more capable in whatever we're practicing at. Take money making and entrepreneurship as an example. Well, we have guys that'll go out and they want to make their first million or whatever, but they'll do whatever it takes to do that. But then they don't necessarily learn all the right management strategies, and they lose it as fast as they got it. Same thing with game. Guys will go out, first 3 months of game, get all crazy, start getting results, get laid a whole bunch, but they're not understanding that they're trying to become better men and better leaders and all this other stuff that comes along with learning game. So many people are results oriented, and a lot of the self-development structure and training that we've gotten are saying basically look at results, look at what's measurable, look at the end goal to see how effective your work process was. And I think that's totally valid. Like, that's definitely something that we can focus on and make a big deal out of, because as we move forward doing the stuff that we thought was going to work, it's good to get feedback, and once we get feedback, it makes us more effective in the next time around. Great, awesome. But I invite you to think that, or to look at it from this perspective. If you are working to become a better human, to be more effective, to be a better, pickup artist, or a better entrepreneur, or a better whatever. If you're working to become better at this stuff, then becoming better should be your goal, right? And since many of us don't understand what better really looks like from a palpable, measurable, tactile perspective, it's important to simply enjoy the fact that you're getting better than you were yesterday, or better than you were an hour ago, right? And not necessarily that you're getting to a particular place, right? You can shoot for a major goal. Like, for instance, my stated goal is to take out almost everybody in the pickup industry except for 4 or 5 companies, right? Because they were my mentors and I don't want to disrespect them and compete with them. But everybody else, kind of like teaching bullshit or staying mired in some stagnation or whatever, I'm just gonna surpass them. And not to say that I want to compete with them or make it a group 1, group 2 thing, but my goal is to become more successful than, you know, the top 90-something% of them, right? By my last count, I have 110, you know, viable competitors, and I went through SWOT analyses on all of them, and I, you know, I'm going to leave my mentors. I'm going to leave Seductive Instinct. I'm gonna leave Vince Kelvin's company, SeductionCoaching.com, and I'm gonna leave RSD and DYD alone, because I don't care to be better than them, because they brought me up to where I am, and I've learned a little bit from everybody around, but in reality, the ones who are still in the game, I don't want to disrespect, ever, and because they're my mentors, and until they and I stop seeing eye to eye, you know, why not just throw business in their direction? They've earned it, right? But on the other hand, that's an outcome dependent goal, right? That's a goal that says, I am going to be this good. There's measurable metrics that say I am going to beat them at, you know, number of YouTube subscribers, or number of, you know, dollars per year, or number of impact points, like how many students I have on any regular basis, right? How scalable am I, and how many lives can I touch, right? Those are metrics, right? And if my only goal is to hit the metrics, then I'm going to down on some of the character building along the way, like on what actually creates something for me as an individual, and how effective I can be at the future while generalizing that new skill set, right? So a lot of guys that come into the game because they're coming from a place of lack. They're coming from a place of scarcity, a place where they don't have a lot of vagina in their life, or they don't have a lot of affection in their life, or they don't have a lot of attention in their life, or they don't have a lot of validation in their life. Whatever they feel like they're missing, they're looking to get that from the game, and more specifically from women around them, right? They were trained to believe that women we're supposed to meet their validation needs, or we're supposed to have sex with them, or whatever it is that they feel like they're missing. They're trained to believe that women provide that answer, and the fact that they're not getting the variety or the quantity or the frequency of women that they were looking for caused them to seek out instruction, to seek out people who can teach them that stuff, and that's where they find us, right? As dating coaches, they go, oh, well, that guy knows how to get chicks, I'll learn from him, and then they come and do all that. But their goal is simply to meet their validation issues or sexual issue, whatever it is. It's not necessarily to become a really good boyfriend. It's not necessarily to become a really good friend. It's not necessarily to become a really good lover, right? That's not their goal. They don't want to create a skill set, even some of them. They just want to know what buttons to push so that they can get the result they were looking for. It's like this vending machine society when it comes to sex, right? It's like there's an app on your phone that allows you to order vagina, right? And it's called Tinder, and you just pick what you want, and you know, X% of the time it's going to show up for you, and then you've just got to do a little bit of legwork, and then you can put your penis in it. Like that's the level that we've gotten to as far as convenience is concerned. And yeah, you still got to have game to use Tinder. You still have to not be a fucking scary human being most of the time, but it's way easier and a lot more commoditized than it was, you know, for our grandparents or our parents as they were growing up. They actually had to, you know, fucking get integrated with people, and yeah, and you know, deal with people's families and shit. And now you can just sort of like order up the dick on tap. And so, not to say that that's a bad thing, but what it does do is it allows people to forget that two human beings together embarking on anything common is a messy experience, right? One human and another human trying to make love work is a messy experience. Trying to make parenthood work is even messier. Trying to make multiple relationships work with more than one other partner, it is a messy experience. Trying to make one partner work out just fine when there's the introduction of substances, alcohol and drugs and stuff. That's a thing. Trying to get people's loves and interests together, like listening to the same music, eating the same food, shit like that, is a challenge, because humans are complicated in their wants, needs, beliefs, and desires, and to put two of those things together is inviting chaos. Right? We're not all like part of the same thing, and that variety, that need for that kind of stimulation drives that out of us into our dating lives. And so it's important to understand that there is no magic formula, right? You can't just be like, say this and the girls swoon, right? Because all women are different. Shit, every person is different. Right? There are people who are good at having relationships. There are people who are good at having lots and lots of really good friends. There are people who are good at surface level relationships. There are people who are good at people who are even good at having multiple wives and having them all talk to each other and shit. Like, it's so many combinations under the sun that it's ludicrous to think that any one answer or any one guru holds the ultimate answer to getting two people to connect, to build rapport, and to create attraction between them, right? Now, because we've had a lot of practice, we have the pickup community in particular has a very clear understanding of the basic functions of relationships, and we can sort of change the variables in those things to affect more positive results more of the time, right? That's what's cool about pickup. But you can't just like take a pickup course and expect to be able to woo any woman. Like, doesn't matter what the marketing material says, right? It just doesn't work that way. There are some women who want nothing to do with you right now and will tomorrow, and some of them who want something to do with you right now and never will again. There are some women who want something to do with you right now and then not later, and then they want to come back later. Like, it's all kind of up in the air, and you can start to begin the dynamic, to learn the dynamics of it, start beginning to understand the complexities of the human mind, what molds human behavior, what can be counted on to influence and persuade, right? What people's desires are, how to affect those things so that they make decisions that are favorable to your desired outcome. Those are things that you can do, but on the other hand, if all you want to do is affect an outcome, if all you want to do is to create a spot where a woman's compliant, then you're missing the mark, right? What you should be doing is figuring out how to make people's day better, figuring out how to make people feel good about themselves, figuring out how to make people, what was I saying? Oh yeah, figuring out how to make people feel empowered, encouraged, sometimes figuring out how to scare them, figuring out how to make them stop what they're doing, right? Sternly. Sometimes figuring out how to make people calm down and think, right? Getting to be good at persuasion in that way is going to pay off in dividends, and it's not about women. One of my mentors, Arash Dibazar, he runs seductiveinstinct.com. He's a very, very loud dating coach, and he's really, really good at it. Man, he's got like a cult following. He used to say that, I even forgot what I was talking about. What I was just talking about. I was talking about something. What was I talking about? I don't remember. But basically, we were talking about women. We were talking about going out, making it a journey, a skill set. Oh, yeah. So Arash used to say that, right now we're applying this tactics to women, but it's just like the very tip of the iceberg. Like being able to communicate, being able to persuade, being able to communicate with your own mind in ways that are persuasive, and being able to, you can create anything that you want. You can generate social alliances when you want. You can form money out of thin air by putting people together in the right combinations, right? The skills involved in pickup are much more valuable than most of us can imagine when we're in the middle of doing it. And that's great. But also, the skill set alone, like, I want to be good at this as a goal, as an end goal. The skill set alone is something to be marveled at. It's something it's something of note and of value, because it can create the potential for it to create something amazing. It's just so high. You know, any sort of education will give us a sort of pregnant potential, a capacity to create change and to make distance between yourself and mediocrity, and putting yourself into a place where you can affect real change because you have new knowledge or new perspective to share with the world, and get people to agree with you and or ally with you, and then put their names on things with you, and create an environment for change, right? It's great. But the end result is like donut, right? It's like, have you ever been to Krispy Kreme? They have these giant systems where, you know, the dough comes out here and it plops over there, and then it flips over this, and then it throws in the fryer, right? And then it from the fryer it gets like flipped out on this conveyor belt. The conveyor belt goes over here. It like dumps like glaze or whatever on, sprinkles or whatever, and it rolls over here, and it's hot as fuck. It's like fresh out of the everything, and it's perfectly put together, and it's like in this semi-automated process that goes around this like conveyor belt into this, you know, this grate rack, right? Well, it's kind of like that. Like if we were just focusing on the, you know, the chocolate donut at the end, then yeah, you'd run through all this process and all this fucking work, and then the chocolate donut would come out the end, and you'd be like, yay, I got my chocolate donut. Then you would eat it, and the donut would be gone, right? So do we just burn the Krispy Kreme down because it didn't produce because it produced the chocolate donut that we started all of this for, and now the donut's gone, so now we don't need the Krispy Kreme anymore? No, the value in the Krispy Kreme conveyor belt is the fact that it can make multiple donuts, right? It's the fact that you can put raw ingredients at one end, and at the other end you can consistently create and reproduce the chocolate glazed donut, like over and over and over and over again in bulk to scale, right? That's the point of the conveyor system at Krispy Kreme, right? That's the point. So if you were to burn the Krispy Kreme down and get rid of all the fucking thing, once you just made one donut, that's kind of a waste of the structures and the mechanisms that created all that stuff, right? That's a waste. It's the same thing with game, with entrepreneurship, whatever, right? You are building tools that create these conveyor belts and cooking mechanisms for whatever your end results are, right? And your end results in pickup, for instance, are like, you know, getting laid or filtering out through or filtering out through women in a way that can help you choose a wife or something, right? It's great. But the point is that you build structures that allow you to be A, much more social, and B, much more effective in your social world, so that you can reproduce results over and over and over again. If a hostage negotiator wasn't good at negotiating, then he would not have a job anymore. Same thing with salesmen or whatever. And when When you are not good at getting a woman's attention, then it's very difficult to find a wife. It's very difficult to be fulfilled in your relationships. It's very difficult to push through problems when you haven't practiced flexing relationship muscles in relationships, right? So the point of going through all this stuff in pickup is to become the kind of person who can create and love and carry on with people, right? Becoming that person, developing that skill set. That's the point of the practice. Some people are myopically like, oh, I have to go out so many fucking nights and I don't even get laid and I'm just bored. Like, I need to take time for myself and right? No. The point is you go out and you gain the kind of experiences so that you are comfortable in that environment, so that you can create value in that environment, so that when you meet people, you're able to read them and give them things that enrich their lives, so they have better rapport with you, so that they introduce you to their friends and your social network gets larger, so that they introduce you to their girlfriends, and you can find girls that or more girls that can be into you, right? That's the point. Anyways, you get the point. So we were talking about the Krispy Kreme thing, we were talking about the mechanisms. The whole point is you build the skill sets so you can use them later, right? And affect more people and create better things to scale. Use those talents for good, or use those talents at least to expand your impact, influence, and persuasion in the world. So that's my talk about life's a journey, not a destination. I do this every damn day on Pickup Daily. So until tomorrow, stay awesome.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.